Yeah, very much appreciation to you watching me out there. My name is Fando Azike. Today I'll be talking on the subject matter, the basic knowledge for political aspirants, part 2. Very important and necessary. However, if today is your very first time of seeing my teachings, please consider to subscribe. I can assure you, when you subscribe, you will learn more of political education that are not taught in your schools on the practical viewpoint. You will also be exposed as well, contribute constructively on matters that affect you as a citizen and government as an institution. You also discover for yourself the ideas, instructions, and principles of great men and women of all times. Do not forget to click the notification bell. Drop your comment. At the same time, like. It will help the video. Thank you very much. Without wasting much of our time, let me remind us once again that the business of government is not meant for people who are not properly prepared, because the management of man is the most difficult task in the history of mankind. Then, government as an institution. Government exists for the simple reason to make man to achieve his potentials, to make man happy, to better the life of humanity. But if such government are being managed by individuals or set of persons that are not properly rooted, every other aim attached to that government will be abused or totally destroyed. So today, we are going to continue from where we stop. If really you want to occupy the corridor of power, you want to control the resources of the state, the resources of the people, you must have a financial base. You must have a financial base. What do I mean by financial base? You must have a means of living. You must have an income base. You must have an income flow. You must have a means of sustenance. Because politics at all levels is expensive. You cannot go to political activities, or you cannot aspire to become a political candidate or occupy corridor of power without having a means of living. Even if you have all the intellectual capacity, you need to have a means of living. Because if you don't have a means of living, you have a tendency to siphon. You have the tendency to be corrupt, which will affect the system. Because politics is financially demanding. You have a lot of things to put in place for people to understand that you are ready to lead. Even if they have the confidence in you, but you need to have a means of living, because government have a life term. Government have a lifespan terms. So government or politics is like a construction company. Most time when it is raining, they don't go for work. So you must have a means of living, and when you leave politics, you can retire to that profession. Or before the political interest, you must also have where you survive. So if really, really you want to become a political aspirant, you want to occupy the government position, you need to have a means of living so that you don't go and tamper or begin to amass wealth to the detriment of the people, because the government is to better the life of humanity. But if really, really you don't have any source of living, you don't have any financial base, you cannot rely on any means that is not well defined, that you have confidence on, to go into political activities. If you don't have means of income, you are not qualified. Another one of the basic knowledge, you must be on ground. When I mean on ground politically, is that you must have a system, a structure, a network that fits you with on-the-spot development within the constituency, within the ward, within the local government, within the area you want to represent. Such network will have a mechanism where input and output are appreciated. There will be a link that continue to inform you on the feelings, on the wish, on the need of the people. This will enable you to identify where to concentrate or draw your manifesto or agenda. It will also expose you on where to consolidate on a particular achievement. When you are on ground, you will win the heart of the people. You will understand what the people really want. So being on ground is putting every structure, every network, every system that will keep you and the people in touch, that will give you an instant or situation reports on the happenings on that vicinity, on that ward. If you don't have all this orientation, there will be a very big missing link between you and the people, and thereby you are not qualified to aspire. Another very, very important aspect, you must understand the election code of conduct. You need to understand the rules, the regulations that guides the election you want to contest for. Things you must do and things you must not do, because there is no ignorance in law. You need to embrace yourself. You need to understand holistically what is required in the course of the election you want to vie for, you want to contest for. If you are not properly exposed and understand this code of conduct, it implies that you are not qualified to represent or to vie for such position, because you will go there and disgrace yourself. If really, really you want to occupy the position of power, you need to have this fundamental knowledge by understanding the code of conduct of elections. Another fundamental aspect is that you must be qualified. When I mean being qualified at this point, it is very, very broad. You must be an indigene. You must be a citizen. You must be qualified to vote and be voted for. If you are not qualified to vote and be voted for, that means you are not qualified. You are not qualified to aspire. So if really, really you want to occupy, you have to check yourself what the Constitution says, the law of the land. If you have gone against the law of the land and duly punished by the law, you may not be qualified. You also need to be officially registered with a political party, which will identify you as a card-carried member, because you cannot fly on an empty bus. So you need to identify, officially registered as a member of a political party. If you are qualified in all ramifications, but if you have on the aforementioned one or two things that disqualifies you, you have no business to aspire to occupy the position in any government, especially elective positions. Another fundamental knowledge: you must be accessible. People should be able to access you. If really, really, really you want to aspire for a political position, you must make yourself accessible. People should access you, have interaction with you, know your capacity, know your knowledge, and know how, when, and where to come in to build a united front with you. But if you are not accessible, there is no way they will understand or know your capacity. You must create a network. You must create channels whereby people can access you, whereby they can make their input, whereby you can as well have a communication where you consult with them. And when you do this, you begin to build a mutual relationship with the people. Above all, you as an individual must understand the office, the job description of the office you are vying for. You must invest in yourself. You must be vast, because politics is all encompassing. You need to build relationship that will cover a lot to enable you get the best hands to build your team. If you don't invest in yourself, if you don't understand the office you want to contest for, you have no business. And above all, do not forget that government exists to better the life of the people. You have no business if you cannot better the life of the people. You have no business to use your ignorance or manipulation to subject the people into suffering. Government exists to promote the greatest happiness of man. Thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe and share. Thank you. Till we meet in the next class. Bye for now.